Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, we are from 5th group and in this time we would like to present our materials about tour guide. Our group members are me, Zanubas Salsabila, and then Basri Hussein, Sahda Dion, Fadilah Nur Faizah, Putri Rizky, Melarisa Octavia. The first one, I will explain about definition of tour guide. A tour guide is a person who provides assistance, information on cultural, historical, and contemporary heritage to people on organized sightseeing and individual clients at educational establishments. Religious and historical sites such as museums and at various venues of tourist attraction resorts. Tour guides also take clients on outdoor guided trips. This trip including hiking, whitewater rafting, mountaineering, alpine climbing, rock climbing, ski and snowboarding in the backcountry, fishing, also biking.
Okay, for the second is about classification of Tourcat. There are many types of Tourcat. There are heritage, archaeological, cultural gate, religious gate, adventure gate, and others. The first is about heritage. Heritage divided become three types. The first is history, archaeological, and architecture guide. The first is history, is one who gives information of the past, moreover found at places, forts, museums, battlefields, tombs, temples, and others. And then the second archaeological, one who gives information on the ancient civilization and the bygone era, found at museum and archaeological sites like the Giza pyramids, Nalanda University, Machu Picchu, and others. And then the third, architecture guide, one who gives information of the art and construction strategy of the monuments and masterpieces from the past, found especially outside temples, places, tombs, towers, and others. And then the second, culture guide, is one who gives information on the lifestyle pattern on the native society of the particular tourist destination. Divided become two, cuisine guide and then religious guide. Cuisine guide is one who gives information on the agriculture, cultivation, and staple diet of a place, the class of the region, and where to eat, when, and what and when. He takes the guides around the city, making them test specialists prepared and different food shops, chocolate factory, cheese factory, orchards, and others. And then religious guide or temple guide or pilgrim guide is one who gives information on the religions, gods, mythology, tradition, rituals, and others. Such guides are hired especially during festival times. They are found at temples and other signs. And then the third, adventure guide. And an adventure tour guide is a trained person hired to guide travelers through designated areas while on adventure vacation. These guides may work independently or as a part of tour guide company. The job of an adventure tour guide entails working with small group or like-minded travelers. Group tours may be scheduled for singles, couple, or family. Divided become the number fourth on-site adventure guide. These tour guides are specific to one or limited number or venues, attraction, park, garden, or destination. On-site guides are responsible to meet and greet tourists on arrival, also manage tourists and visitors while they are on site. Number 5. City guides specialize in leading tours of one or more cities. They might conduct city walks, bicycle tours, hop of tours using public transport and others. City guides often work closely with council, tourism bodies, and local business. And then government guides are employed by government or government-funded bodies or agencies. These tour guides are employed by the government, but may not be absolutely designed to visitor or tourists as government employee. For the next classifications of tour guide will be explained for my friends. Thank you.
Specialized guides. These tour guides specialize on one or more types of tour, such as action and adventure tours, historic tours, cultural tours, ecotourism, and nature. Specialized guides must have extensive knowledge of the areas they are specializing in and sound skills relating to the activities which are the focus of their tours. Next, independent guide. An independent guide is self-employed. They may also work for tour operators, government agency, or attraction or destination on a contractual basis in any tour guide capacity. Business and industry guides. These tourist guides are specialized guides who focus on leading tours to nominated business houses and specific industry types or sectors. They may be self-employed or employed by the business or industries they serve. Business and industry guides can operate on a commission basis based on the sales made to visitors or tour groups while they are at individual establishments. Duration-based guides. Duration-based guides may be one-day tour guide or leading tour of generally 6 to 12 hours duration, or extended tour guides conducting multiple day tours. They may be required to drive a vehicle or may work in conjunction with a dedicated driver. Sometimes they also require to cook or prepare meals, or may work with a dedicated cook. Duration-based guides can be a generalist tour guide with general knowledge about an area and or a range of topics, or a specialized tourist guide. Last, driver guide. A driver guide may be classification of tour guides as identified above who combine their other tour guide duties with driving a vehicle. They often need to hold a nominated type of driving license as appropriate to the type of vehicle being driven, which may be a car, a van with limited passenger capacity, a four-wheel drive vehicle, a bus or coach. Driver guides will often need to have specialized driving training and nominated experience or ability with vehicle maintenance and repair.
Here I will explain about types of tour guide based on the pledge of carrying out tax. There is local guide or on-site guide. Local tour guide is a tour guide who handle a tour of one or several hours in a particular place, in a tourist attraction, or in a limited area. And then city guide. A city guide is a tour guide whose job is to bring tourists and provide tourists information about the main tourist object in a city. And then based on specification, a special tour guide, namely tour guide on special duty in one or several certain tourist object. And then general tour guide, namely tour guide who are not duty at one tourist attraction. And then the next, based on the origin of tourists, there is inbound tour guide, outbound tour guide, and domestic tour guide. And for base status, there is payroll guide, namely tour guide who work permanently at the travel agency or tourist agency, also called full-time guide or guide staff. And then freelance guide, namely tour guide who work for a part-time worker who only work in certain session. And then by ranks, young guides, intermediate guides, tour organist. And then based on the number of tourists handled, there is group tour guide and individual tour guide.
Types of tour guide by rank. Based on the decision of the Minister of Tourism, there are three types of tour guide. First, young guides, namely tour guides who are assigned to a level 2 area where the certificate is given. The certificate is obtained through a course and an exam with certain requirements. Second, intermediate guides, namely tour guides who are on duty in the level 1 area where the certificate is given. And the last, tour organizer, namely travel agency employees who have the knowledge and skills to lead and manage group travel. Next, based on the number of tourists handled. First, group tour guide, which is tour guide in charge of handling tourists in a group, or what is often termed GIT or group inclusive tour. Regarding the number of tourists who can be categorized as a group, there are still many differences of opinion as well as the understanding of the group itself. However, this understanding is usually returned to the provisions adopted by the travel agency or tourism agency concerned. Second, individual tour guide, namely a tour guide in charge of handling individual tourists or FIT, free individual travelers.
Okay, next is advantage of tour guide. The first, ability to save money more. Second, making new friends and learning a new language or accent. And the third, freedom from the work environment constraint. The fourth, the ability of travel and enjoy of the tourism industry features in different places. And the fifth, tour guide can learn valuable skills along with this job. The example, being organized and make perfect planning, budgeting, accounting, and currency exchange, improve social and communication skill, and so on. And the sixth, gaining a lot of experience in dealing with people and making friends from different areas. And next, a job which forces tour guide to be healthier because in a typical tour guide you cannot smoke and you have to climb mountains, ride bicycle and walk for a while. And next, dealing with people at their best mood. And next, tour guide can learn more about the art, history, culture, and museum of city. And the last, tour guide may help the tourists to reach their goals along the travel and provide their requirements.
And disadvantage of tour guide. Tour guides often have to work on weekends. The schedule can change without prior notice. Don't make much money as a tour guide. Many tour guides need a second job to survive. Short-term contracts are pretty common. Seasonally plays a big role in the life of tour guides. All age poverty is quite common. Bad weather can be a problem. Return poor job security, limited promotion opportunities. Tour guides have to deal with difficult people. Being a tour guide may become boring in the long run. You can't work from home as a tour guide, and the last is difficult if you have children. I think enough from week group 4, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.